Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our webinar this morning. MX Data is so excited to have Elo Touch Solutions with us today. We have Pete Decoy, Regional Sales Manager with us, and Brian Ogen, Senior Partnership Manager as well, here to present. So you guys can go ahead and just take it from here.
Yep, no problem. As Jada said, I'm Pete. I'm the regional sales manager for the Northeast here at Elo. We have Brian Ogen, our senior business development manager for our ISV team. So we'll kick it off. I think everybody could probably see the screen. So today we're talking about redefining retail for the convenience first customer, right? So I think good to start in that in retail, convenience isn't just a feature anymore, right? It's really an entire experience. So whether that's self-service or that's mobile ordering, endless aisle, we're helping retailers deliver that speed, that simplicity, and that satisfaction really at every touch point inside of that retail environment. So I think good to spread it out kind of between two perspectives, right? One from the shopper here, and then also one from the business. So from the shopper perspective, which we all are, right? We're all consumers at the end of the day. Me as a shopper personally, I want convenience without compromise, right? And with Elo, every interaction that we provide, it's fast, it's intuitive, and it's built to really keep those experiences and that convenience moving, but more so for us as the consumers, for us to come back. So from the business side of that, we want our retailers to really be able to turn every transaction into a competitive advantage for their business. So we look at it kind of as convenience as the currency of modern retail, right? And we're giving you a platform to serve customers faster, to increase throughput, and to keep your operations running seamlessly, really no matter the scale. And I'd say lastly, just from a technology perspective, right? From self-checkout to mobile order pickup, we're delivering adaptable hardware and integrated solutions that retailers need to meet those demands of what we're calling a convenience first world. So I'll pop on to the next slide here. Elo is everywhere. You probably see this. If any of you follow Elo, this is our hashtag, it's our slogan, right? And the screen here, this isn't just logos, right? It's proof that Elo is literally the backbone of some of the world's most recognized retailers, restaurants, convenience stores. And again, whether that's point of sale, whether it's self-checkout, whether it's endless aisle, our technology is quietly running the transactions and experiences of millions of people that rely on this and this technology and this consistency every single day. So convenience is top of mind for the consumer, right? I think here's kind of the reality, right? Convenience isn't really just a nice to have anymore, right? It's a deciding factor. And if we're looking at some of the stats on the screen here, we know that over 90% of these consumers say that they're more likely to choose a retailer based on that convenience alone, right? It's not just about the speed, it's about removing friction at every touch point inside of that shopper's journey. We can all relate to this. We are all consumers at the end of the day. We don't buy everything online. We come in store as well. But we continue to look at some of these numbers too, and we're looking at 97% of people that admit that they've literally walked away from a purchase simply because it wasn't convenient. And 83% of those say that convenience is more important today than it was just 5 years ago. 5 years doesn't sound like a lot, but it is when you consider how technology has shifted since then. So when the retailer can get that right, let's say with BOPIS, for example, right? Buy online, pick up in store, 70% of those shoppers are saying that that experience improves. So I think the message is pretty clear, right? From finding deals to comparing reviews, from returns to checkout to, shoppers, us. We want to make things simple. We want to make them fast. We want to make them intuitive, not just one time, but every time. And I'd say to kind of tie in some of Elo's core messaging, let's say, that's where we come in on this, right? We're not just selling touchscreens, we're enabling the platforms that deliver that convenience, whether it's self-service kiosk, whether it's mobile ordering, whether it's endless aisle, or it's scan and go. With Elo, you really have one technology partner that's covering every convenience touch point for your store. So if my VP was here today, he'd probably say Elo is one platform for every touch point with zero friction. So our unified architecture, right? Like we're saying here, convenience isn't just about speed, it's about flexibility. I'm not sure if everyone is aware about our unified architecture, but really what it is it's the same core chipset that can power everything from a 7-inch screen all the way up to a 65-inch display. And that goes for our handhelds, our payment devices, our POS packs, which are computers without the touchscreen that could power not just the monitor, but can power lots of different things. So what does this mean? It means that software runs the same. The integration stays simple. And scaling up or down in some cases typically requires almost zero re-engineering, zero development. So let's say that there's a unit in a deli today, and that unit can now be repurposed as a self-checkout for tomorrow, and then become an endless aisle solution for the holidays. So the advantage here is that there's no new hardware or retraining employees that's required. So when we think about adaptability, this type of adaptability in particular means that you as the retailers can respond to these different types of trends, seasons. You can respond to the customer needs in real time without waiting on costly replacements. That's convenience. That's true convenience, not just for shoppers, but for the employees and for the bottom line of the business. So really at the end of the day, that common chipset, that unified architecture, we're turning hardware into a flexible retail platform, right? Making every device a multi-purpose, easily integrated tool for that convenience first retail from a handheld up to a large format. So we'll talk here a little bit about why this works for consumers and why it works for businesses, right? So hybrid point of sale, this a perfect example, I think, in terms of how Elo's flexibility can show up in store, right? We're bridging the gap with hybrid point of sale. We're bridging shopper expectations and operational efficiency, let's say. One device, multiple roles, really all in the terms of the business, right? Tying that in with our unified architecture, we can transform a shopper experience literally overnight. Again, that one device could be a kiosk today, it could be the self-checkout next month, it could be the endless aisle for the holidays without the need to replace that hardware. So why does it work for us, right? And we look at kind of the stats here, right? When shoppers say that they want convenience, when we say that we want convenience, I think what we really mean to say is make this easy for me. And that's what a hybrid point of sale solution is delivering. It's delivering exactly that. We're talking instant inventory visibility. We're talking clear wayfinding. We're talking a consistent experience, whether they're on a kiosk, a mobile device, or online. It's also more personal. So we're talking targeted offers based on a shopper's history that might appear right in front of the decision point. And for customers who prefer, let's say, independence, hybrid point of sale is going to let them take control and get through their shopping experience quickly and confidently. So I think the takeaway here would be that hybrid point of sale is meeting shoppers where they are, right? Making that path to purchase faster, easier, and more personal. Now we'll flip on to the business side of it. For the retailer, our unified architecture can be a literal game changer. It's easier to manage. It's going to give you better control of your brand image. It's going to offer the flexibility to change apps on the same device depending on the need. We work across every platform, and that means Android, Windows, Linux. We're not locking people in, right? So what's the result of that? The result is really one hardware investment that can kind of flex with your business strategy instead of holding it back. Click and convenience, no longer just click and collect. I think about click and collect and how many webinars like this that I probably sat on over the last 6, 7, 8 years, right? So let's first tie it in with hybrid point of sale, right? Again, more than a checkout station. It's the engine, right? It's the engine for every modern fulfillment strategy that's out there today. And in retail, unfortunately, with today, click and collect's not enough anymore, right? Shoppers, we want everything, I think is the bottom line. We want click and let's say we want everything. So click and collect has really evolved into click and convenience, right? We're now meeting customers wherever they choose to engage. On the Elo side, we're enabling BOPIS, which I'm sure everybody's familiar with these terms. If not, I'll quickly run through. Buy online, pick up in store. We're enabling BORIS, which is buy online, return in store. That becomes a really frictionless type of experience with unified devices that can process returns, issue the refunds, and get the product back into inventory quickly. We're also enabling BOPAC, which is buy online, pick up at curbside. So again, this can run on the same device, same platform. It's perfect for a seasonal or high demand period. We'll get into all of these. And then lastly, endless aisle, right? So it's really the ultimate convenience play. That's going to allow us as a customer to order an item that's out of stock for home delivery without ever having to leave the store. So with our architecture, the way we build these products and engineer these products, all these journeys can really be supported on the same hardware simply by changing the application, right? So I think the tie-in here is to say that it's not really about having more devices in more places, let's say. It's about getting more from the devices that you already have. That's real convenience for shoppers and for the business people that are on this call today, for your operations. Oh, did that change? It did change, right? Yes, it did. Okay. So I guess we'll start with the most well-known. I think everybody knows this. It's clearly still one of the most powerful convenience plays that's out there, and that would be BOPIS, right? Buy online, pick up in store. So again, I think as a consumer, I want to talk as a consumer today because I think it's important because, for the business owners that are out here, yes, you're business owners, but you're also consumers. So for us, it's about control. I mean, I want to be able to research ahead of time. I want to be able to skip shipping cost, and I want to know that the item is going to be waiting for me when I get to the store. I don't want guessing. I don't want a wasted trip. I want something that's faster. I want to be able to get what I need today without walking every single aisle, but I still want to have the option to browse while I'm in store. And I think while we're looking at the stats here, I think that's why 69% of consumers are ranking BOPIS as a very important feature in retail shopping. Now for the business, BOPIS is kind of repurposing labor at a time when staffing can be tight. And that's a trend that we're seeing. We won't dive into, but we are seeing this amongst our retail customers today. So this allows you to really kind of bridge a gap, right, between e-commerce convenience and your profitability of in-store transactions. It's going to create an upsell opportunity. So when we look at the stat here, 85% of consumers who are using BOPIS, they end up buying more. I am part of that statistic. I think the majority of you, hopefully 85%, are probably part of that statistic too. It's an inventory win at the end of the day, right? The right stores before it gets stale. So the Elo advantage in this again is it's the same device that you could use for both. They handle this aisle all without having to buy another piece of hardware. We'll talk about BORIS a little bit, right? So we can kind of frame what a seamless, BOPIS journey might look like. And it's pretty simple. I think we've all lived this. That journey kind of starts when we make that purchase from home or from work, or we're on the go, eating in our car at lunch, with the expectation that the fulfillment is really going to be just as convenient as the ordering process was. When I get to the store, there's no hunting for an associate. They're going to get that order the second that we get in. If there's a check-in kiosk there, maybe our device is using for that. And within probably a few seconds, the associate is being alerted. They're getting notified on an Elo device. They're grabbing the order, and then it's being handed off to the customer at that point. So, the magic here, I think, is that all of these touch points, whether it's kiosk or it's a back of the house display or it's a mobile device, are powered by that same Elo architecture. So what does it mean? It means faster deployments. It means consistent branding, and it's not putting you into like a hardware silo. I think one of the disadvantages, probably not spoken about a lot, is the need for retailers to have to manage more than one hardware vendor. Becomes tough if you have internal IT teams that are handling these devices. So it puts us and you in a really advantageous position, just from an IT management standpoint as well. So let's talk about BORIS. And if anybody wants to stop me at any point, they can. We will open this up. I think we'll get through the rest of these pretty quickly. We should have some time for Q&A afterwards. But, on the BORIS side of things, I don't think convenience is just about buying, as a lot of you know, right? If you've ever bought something on Amazon and you've had the incentive to come into a Kohl's or another store to return it, you typically get that little, coupon to go buy something. But convenience isn't just about buying, right? Today, it's also about making returns painless. So whether I'm a shopper that's trying to exchange a shirt, or I'm swapping out some gloves that I bought that weren't the right size for my wife for gardening, Boris is really kind of removing that friction by letting you start and finish that process in store, right? Without the cost of waiting or shipping. So what does it mean for the business owner though? For retailers, Boris means more than just happier customers, obviously, right? It's driving foot traffic, it's creating upsell opportunities, and it's saving on reverse logistics. I think maybe one of the less spoken about benefits of Boris, but we're making it easy to launch this, right? From a modular kiosk or the point of sale that might already be in use today, or self-checkout. There's no added complexity. There's no vendor sprawl, right? We're working to help turn a return into a positive experience, right? So that customers aren't just coming back, right? They're going to buy more, right? Like this quote here shows, we're going to make you help that moment count when the customer's in store. So we can walk through the journey a little bit here. Again, I think we're enabling Boris to be smooth from start to finish. We can kick off that return literally in a matter of seconds at the kiosk. The associates are, alerted almost instantly, and every transaction can be completed without the bottlenecks that might take place at the counter, right? So, the big tie-in here would be that whether it's a retail customer returning apparel, let's say, right? Or maybe exchanging a mispicked product, that flow is going to stay fast. It's going to stay consistent, and it's going to stay easy to manage across all of those locations, right? So again, we're looking at one device, multiple journeys. That's how Elo's unified architecture works here today. BOPAC, yeah, a good one here, right? Buy online, pick up at the curb. I don't do a lot of this really. I think we probably see this a lot more in grocery, at least for me, right? Again, speaking as a consumer, right? But I think sometimes the most convenient thing that you can really do for customers is to let them stay in the driver's seat. In this case, that's quite literal here, right? So BOPAC is bringing the store to the car. And, that might be a situation. It's a parent with a sleeping child in the back seat, or you're a pet owner that's on the go, or maybe just a shopper that really just doesn't want to get out of their car. That's me on Saturday mornings, by the way, when I pick up groceries for the wife and the family here. But for the business here, BOPAC is really enabling, we're enabling BOPAC with mobile devices in a lot of cases here for the business, right? We're keeping associates connected to the order system. The kiosks that are going to make that arrival check-in quick and automated. It's really because we're on the same hardware ecosystem, right? Again, the benefit is that we provide this. There's no need to switch out devices, really from a big box store to even a convenience store. I don't think we can talk about convenience without talking about C-stores, right? But BOPAC is the kind of convenience that's going to earn loyalty because it's saving time when time matters the most. So that journey, I think this is one that, we get it here, right? So from the moment that the customer's pulling into the parking lot, Elo is trying to connect those dots. If there's an outdoor kiosk, we're going to make that check-in process even more instant. I think in most cases it's done from a phone, you send a text, but in the case where there might be an outdoor type of kiosk set up, customer's going to use that device. The associates in the back of the house get that update in real time. The mobile computers that we're delivering are delivering those orders seamlessly, really without ever breaking the flow of operations, right? So could be groceries, could be a hot prepared meal, or specialty retail order. It's the same Elo hardware that's going to handle the check-in, the mobile order management, the handoff. We're proving that convenience doesn't have to mean complexity here, right? And again, that same device tomorrow can be repurposed as something else. Elo's hardware, in this case, with your partners here on the line that brought us in, our hardware's not locked into one job for you. And I think that's the big takeaway. Endless aisle. We have a lot of these customers, by the way, that are using our devices for BOPIS, Boris, BOPAC, Endless Aisle. I would definitely throw out to the group that's here today. If you want to learn more about those customers that we have, we would love to talk to you about it. Endless Aisle is a great solution. I personally run a number of Endless Aisle customers here from tier 1 to tier 2. It's something that's going to keep customers happy even when the shelf is empty. We've all run into this, right? You go into the shoe store, the shoe you want in the color you want is there, but guess what? It's 2 sizes too small. So in the case where we want to keep that customer happy still, we can show them exactly where they can get the product, or we could let them order it right there on the spot for delivery. Now, in our cases, we see this powered with something like our POS pack or a backpack, and typically a large format display, 32 inches and up. And what we're helping do is turning that potential lost sale into an actual win. So for the business here, again, it's the same story. That same device running your Endless Aisle, man, we could double that. We could run that as a price checker. We could put it as a registry station, product info display, maximizing the value of your hardware investment. And again, the journey here, right? So we're powering this entire experience of the Endless Aisle journey, right? From finding the product to checking the price to ordering the right size or color for delivery. Every touch point is being powered by our hardware, which is built to be flexible, just as flexible, let's say, as that customer journey itself. So, in the retail side, this might mean a kiosk at the front. You're showing your seasonal promotions today. I know I'm beating a dead horse, but you're showing a seasonal promotion today or letting the customers order an out-of-stock item for pickup later. But in other environments, again, this could be a product locator in a big box store. It could be a request to put something in a specialty retailer as a different station. So the technology stays the same. The use case is really yours in terms of what you want to do with it. Multi-purpose information center. Yeah, this is a cool one, right? And this is probably the simplest of click and convenience deployment strategies, right? I think sometimes the fastest way to deliver convenience is to actually put everything in one place, right? So when we talk about a multi-purpose information center, we're giving customers the ability to price check, to find a product, to pick up items, or even start a return, all from the same screen, right? So tying this could mean scanning a product for a price. It could be ordering a made-to-order sandwich or checking loyalty points without having to wait in that line, right? In other retail settings, it's Endless Aisle, it's registry lookup, it's click and collect check-in. So it's one device here, again, countless uses. And because our architecture supports really multiple apps on a single device, you're not just adding technology here, right? You're multiplying what one piece of hardware can do without having to multiply your costs or the complexities of the solution that you want to deploy. So why do customers love self-checkout? I can think of a lot of reasons. I mean, I can think of a ton. I'm sure most of you can, right? But it's giving me as the customer, right, the ultimate convenience in most cases. It's less waiting. It's more choice in terms of how I want to pay. It's even giving a more private experience in some cases in terms of how I want things, right? But for the business, self-checkout isn't just about speed, though it's sold that way quite a bit. It's about the ability to process more transactions without adding to labor, without opening extra lanes instantly during peak hours, and creating upsell opportunities, whether that's a coffee station, maybe in a convenience store, or it's a seasonal item in a grocery store. I think the tie-in here is that our self-checkout solutions are modular, right? So you can deploy these as full lanes, countertop units, or even convert them into other types of interactive stations when they're needed. You're not locked into one format, right? So that self-checkout station today becomes a self-service for the business too. It's easy to deploy, it's easy to reconfigure, and it's even easier to manage. So we'll do a quick product overview. I think important to preface that the products that you're going to see here are some, Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, and I was pulled into this. I don't manage the software relationship here, but I think this really kind of focuses on the products that are supported today. And I apologize, I'm looking here because this is where all your lovely faces are. I think this covers the products that we have integrated and supported by our partners on the phone today. We have an extremely expansive product portfolio, from handheld devices to ruggedized devices to tablets to 7-inch screens, all the way up to 65-inch screens. But we'll talk a little bit about this. Brian, anything you want to add there before I continue?
Yeah, you're exactly right, Pete. These are some of the products that we've had discussions with MX Data about in the past, as we are entered into this partnership. But as what you've outlined at the first part of this presentation is that, we have hardware, like you just said, that could cover multiple applications. So this, we can any interest or needs that you all have in your businesses, we can probably address together with MX Data.
That's great. Brian, I appreciate you clarifying this. I know I went back to you and Madison and said, hey, we need a lot more products here. But to Brian's point, MX obviously are great partners. So if you are looking through our product portfolio at some point, and you're looking beyond the few devices that we're going to go through here, and I promise, guys, we only have like 3-4 slides left, and then we can open things up. I hope most of this has been worthwhile for you, but let's just kind of kick it off, right? I think everything that we've talked about here, to Brian's point, from BOPIS to Boris to BOPAC, endless aisle, self-checkout, right? This really is coming to life through our product portfolio. So from mobile devices to large format touchscreens, or from a fixed point of sale to an outdoor kiosk, we're providing a unified hardware foundation, let's say, that adapts to your needs, right? And the big tie-in would be that because our architecture is consistent across many form factors, you could run those same applications on any ELO device, whether it's a countertop point of sale, a wall-mounted kiosk, or a handheld mobile unit. And that's what makes convenience, when we're trying to tell the story today, that's what makes convenience scalable. So it's not just about selling hardware for us. In fact, we want to sell more hardware, but what we're actually talking about here, this reoccurring theme, is that you don't need to buy more hardware. It's not about selling hardware. It's about giving you the flexibility to deliver that convenience anywhere, anytime, on any device. So let's touch our iSeries 3, right? It's a great product. It's been around for a long time. I think good to just quickly mention here, the products that you're seeing on the screen, mainly these products on the left here, right? These are more built for modularity and flexibility, right? You may or may not know this, but on all 4 sides of these screens on our standard iSeries, we have what's called Edge Connect. Edge Connect allows you to plug in a number of different type of peripherals. That could be a barcode scanner, that could be a fingerprint reader, a status light, it could be a speaker even now. It could be a RF reader. We have as sleek as possible. And we've done pretty good job of that, considering you look at the bezel here. But this is a product that's built for modularity. On the right, the Slate products are really built more for aesthetics. If you don't need those Edge Connect features, if you don't need the peripherals, and you're just purely looking for a gorgeous device to put in front of your business, that's the Slate products. So let's kick it off from there. In general, the iSeries 3 Intel is a workhorse, let's say, behind many of the convenience experiences that we've covered today and are actively providing to enterprise business. So whether that be self-checkout, or it's endless aisle, or it's BOPIS, or it's even a mobile to fix, which we didn't show a slide for. I think we should have. Maybe we could flip something out after this, but it's multiple form factors, mounting options with something that adapts to the space and the role that you really need here. Tying that in from a retail setting or convenience store, this can mean one of our compact slates running a loyalty sign up at the counter, or our 22-inch display powering your self-order kiosk, right? In other retail spaces, it could be a premium POS or product information station. So again, same device, different job. So when we look at the iSeries 3, it's not just a device that doesn't just fit the counter, it's fitting a business model, delivering convenience to the customer and delivering you as the business operational flexibility. So the iSeries 3, we'll get a little bit deeper into some of the specs here. I think good to touch on non-volatile memory express, NVMe, better known That's probably more of a thing for our partners on the phone, Brian, our business partners at MX. But again, with this here on the stand versions, we're providing flexible form factors, right, and performance. So whether you want to, you need a compact type of 15-inch display, or you're looking for a tight counter space, perhaps with something larger like our 22-inch for self-service, it's powered by Intel. It's built to handle everything from your point of sale to your self-checkout to literally anything that you need. So this comes in a variety of different sizes and performance options, meaning that you could kind of match the device to the environment, whether that's high volume retail store, whether that's your front of the counter, whether that's your back of the house ordering station. You're doing all this without sacrificing that unified experience that we're providing. Again, this is the same architecture, same software stack, multiple sizes. So let's say we're scaling convenience and making it extremely simple for you to do so. Onto our slate, right? So again, we're offering all that performance of our Intel lineup in a sleek stand-free design in some cases. This is perfect for a space-constrained counter, a wall mount kiosk, maybe some type of embedded application. So it's full HD resolution, 8-megapixel camera. This is something that's ready for high-quality customer interactions, and we see these, we deploy these every single day. Maybe this is something that if you're a retailer, you have a coffee station inside your store, which we see a lot of that. Think about the biggest one out there. I think everybody knows Walmart. You walk into Walmart, you could buy a coffee in Walmart if you want to. You could buy food in Walmart. So maybe this is something where we're going to mount it near a beverage station for self-ordering, or at the entrance for a loyalty enrollment, or wayfinding, perhaps if it's a big store. In other retail settings, it's ideal for endless aisle, product lookup, or maybe assisted selling. So the slate's really a great example of what I'll say is our convenience first approach, right? Form factors that are fitting your environment without sacrificing that performance or compatibility. The Z30, again, part of this is a versatile fixed point of sale platform. We're combining a sleek design here with high performance and really a footprint that's going to work in both compact counters and full service lanes. So this is an integrated form factor, meaning that it is fewer cables, it's less clutter, and it's an easier setup for your IT teams that are out there. Let's say in a convenience store, perhaps, that this could mean running your traditional checkout during peak hours and then flipping it into a self-service mode during those off-peak times. So because it's part of the iSeries family, this makes it really easy for you to standardize across that environment while still adapting to each of those stores' needs. So with the Z30, we're bringing that same type of modularity and ecosystem. Let's say ecosystem flexibility. I like that a little bit more as our other devices, so that you can connect your peripherals, expand your functionality, and scale your point of sale strategy without really ever having to change your hardware. This is really the last slide, guys. And I wanted to keep this at 30 minutes, so I want like 4 over, but look, this is where we shine, right? Not just as individual devices or products, but as a unified retail platform. Every screen you see here is running on the same core architecture, the same operating system, the same device management framework. That means a single investment from you covers multiple use cases, from the back of the house to the checkout counter to customer-facing experiences, right? So it's huge. You're not juggling different vendors, drivers, or having to update processes. We're talking a device, one device in some cases, that you can configure as your point of sale terminal today, your price checker tomorrow, a mobile checkout solution during your high traffic events. But this is flexibility that's not only streamlining the operations, but it's reducing your training time and service calls. I mean, the last thing I'll say would be that we want to give you a single technology spine, right, that runs across your entire store. We want to make it easier to launch new services, adapt to your seasonal traffic, and roll out changes, chain wide in many of your cases, without having to touch every single location individually. And I mean, that's really it. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we're not just a set of products. I think I've drilled that home here, right? We're a toolkit for creating a faster, more flexible, more convenient experience for both us as customers, but and your staff. So I'd say whether you want to simplify your checkout, or you want to reduce your training time, or you want to roll out new services across hundreds of your stores overnight, this is what our platform's built for. It's built to make that easy for you. So look, I'll turn it over to the people on the call. We'd love to hear what types of challenges or goals you have around convenience in your stores, and maybe there's a way that we can help solve some of those problems together. Thank you.
We are happy to, if anything comes up, any follow-ups, please do not hesitate to reach out.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You as well. Thanks so much.
Thanks all.